a lot of these today?
Some.
You,
I was out recruiting, so we had a clinic Sunday. I got them playing after the clinic and flew to New Jersey, met with kids in Jersey, flew to New Hampshire. My daughter goes to Brewster in New Hampshire, but they have about 11 Division I players, so I got to do that. And then we fought headwinds flying back last night.
yeah,
So here I am.
yeah. It takes a while to get that airplane back in the head.
Yeah, I'm not a good flyer either. So.
You have probably been through quite a few media days, but this is the first one in the college ranks in quite a while. Is it much different from when it was in the past?
Yeah, I think so. You know, the last one was '88. You know, so that was different. NBA media days weren't quite like this.
Right.
You know, but after games they were
Sure.
difficult. And I always think, you know, no offense, media days like going to the dentist for me.
Right. The going back to your time, you spent obviously being in the NBA and in college level. You spent a lot of time in Dallas, but I want to go back to 1986 because I was at the at reunion for the semifinal games. And do you have a lot of fond memories about that time?
Not that game.
Not that game.
You know, Danny played 20 minutes and fouled out. I had 3 other guys foul out. One guy, Archie Marshall, tore an ACL, and we lose in the last seconds. But that was probably as good a team as I've ever been involved with. After that game, it was tough, but I do remember it was a wonderful experience. Anytime, you know, you get in the NCAA tournament is great, and then to go to the Final Four, it's what every kid dreams about. And I kind of love coming back here because, you know, I'm close friends with Rick Carlisle and Mark Cuban. You know, he's as good an owner as we have. Any time we played, you know, American Airlines Arena, it was full and the enthusiasm was great. Donnie's been a big supporter, so it's pretty neat being here. We got to get some of the fans that can't get into the Mavericks game to kind of mosey down to Moody and watch us play, and hopefully, you know, if we play the right way, maybe they'll come back, or even watch both teams play.
What can fans expect as far as this year?
Well, I hope we play the right way. You know, I hope we play hard and try to guard and share the ball and act like, you know, good student athletes. And people think that we're being coached. We have a challenge, you know. We lost a lot of guys. We got a lot of young people. Don't have a lot of depth in terms of numbers. Our schedule, you know, was much better. We only had 1 game scheduled when we got here, so people were tackling me in the airport trying to play us. That didn't make me feel great, but I think we have a challenging schedule. And then, you know, when I was flying down here last night, I was talking to one of my assistants. He asked me, you know most of the coaches in the league? And I started to run them off. I have a relationship with most of them, and we have unbelievable coaching in this league. You know, Danny and Jeff Lebo, and, you know, I've been involved with those guys. You know, Tim Floyd, I mean, the list goes on and on. Coach Dickey, I just think every night's going to be a challenge in Conference USA. And from my perspective also, when I was at a coaching, I spent a lot of time with John Calipari at Memphis. I used to go to Conference USA's tournament in Memphis every year, and I was really impressed with the talent and the coaching. So we got a lot of work to do.
As far as your roster, the guys that you do have coming back, London Giles and Jalen Jones come back. They represent not only you know, a large part of the scoring from last season that will be returning, but they also represent part of the South Dallas community that have tried to incorporate themselves with SMU. You feel like you know, with the impact that they could have, you know, in the recruitment recruiting process that they'll help you make an impact back into those roots?
Well, we gotta be relevant in Texas and in particular Dallas. But you know, I recruited Larry Johnson. I coached him on the World Junior team, and you know, when SMU didn't take him, you know, we've been fighting an uphill battle for a long time. So, you know, certainly having Cotton and Jalen is a plus, but we gotta make sure people in this city and state understand that, you know, they can get a great education and play in a great league and be coached and want to send their kids here, because it's an advantage having families get in a car to watch their kids play rather than have to fly and figure out ways to get there. But I think we have to prove to coaches here that we can coach and we care about their kids, and that's a challenge. I want to make sure that, you know, we open up our practices and kids see us in their gyms, and coaches understand that we're a resource. You know, Cotton's coming off a knee injury and he's way behind. Jalen, you know, when you talk about returning players, we have about 25 points coming back and lost an awful lot. So we got to develop the players we have, and I'm hopefully, if people see that we care and can coach, they'll want their kids to come here.
And there will be a different offensive philosophy this year as far as we run the ball more, or
you know, I looked at a lot of film. Matt played Princeton-style offense and a matchup zone. I don't know how to coach either of those things. But everywhere I've been, except for one place, I've taken over a losing program. And a coach's job and a staff's job is to find out how you can be successful, how the kids can do what they do best. So if you have any suggestions, I'm up in the air on how we should play. But eventually, we're going to defend, play man-to-man, play fast, extend our defense, hopefully play unselfishly, and make kids better. For the time being, we got to trick some people. We might even play some zone, and I don't have a clue about that. We might have to trick people into thinking we're playing fast when we're really trying to, you know, get the best shot we can. But it's happened to us before, but we never got away from our values, and that's, you know, being a great man-to-man defensive team and being unselfish and playing hard, and hopefully people will eventually see